Mm, that's good. Good peach tea is always wonderful. Hey everyone, it's Val the Voice Johnson. Have you ever experienced high tea? I did earlier this week. And this is my peach tea in this beautiful mug I recently got. I don't know if you all can see that, but yes, and of course, if you're going to do high tea, you have to have your pinky up like this, a high pinky up like this. Yeah. Greetings and blessings to everyone out there. I see Mr. Springer is here. Hey, everyone. Great to see you. I see Alejandro has joined us. Thank you for being here as well. And of course, Daniel, thank you so much for being here. Peace and blessings. It is I can't believe it. We are I think it is the last Tuesday that's in the summer season. Fall starts September 23rd. So I think that's either this Friday or Saturday. I cannot believe this the summer is going to be officially gone in just a few days. Oh, I don't like that. So if you guys are ready for the new season, say yeah or say oh yeah. Now I'm thinking like a DJ. So guess what? We have a TV series review and of course, high tea anyone? Hmm. And of course, we got sports coverage with Coach Tony. You're here for another exciting episode of, oh my, Talk on Tuesdays. It's time to get it. Go ahead and keep saying hello in the chat, but we're going to go ahead and be back on the other side of this. Let's go, everyone. Here we go. Hey. It's Talk on Tuesdays. We are back. We are back. I'm so grateful to see you guys. I'm trying to start coming on as early as possible, like right at 8 o'clock. I'm trying to get there. But it's here. We're here at Talk on Tuesdays. I had a music show a little bit. I had two music shows earlier in the day, and I had a blast. But I had to hustle so I could get ready for this show tonight. But I wanted to let you guys know that our Talk on Tuesdays chat is sponsored by our affiliate sponsor. It is Legal Shield. If you need a will or trust prepared or updated, or if you're worried about identity theft, unfortunately, that's happening often, and you have a business you would like to either protect or trademark, learn how Legal Shield can help represent your legal needs at the fraction of the cost. And please go ahead and visit the website linktr.ee/Pure Light Media for more information. And of course, I'll go ahead and have Kevin place Legal Shield, that information in the chat. If you want to learn more about Legal Shield, we got it there. And then, of course, if you'd like to become a sponsor or book time with me, Val the Voice Johnson, you can still go to linktr.ee/Pure Light Media. Then eventually it'll be purelighthouse.com. I got some folks working on some things. It's exciting. Oh my goodness. Woo. Man, oh man. Well, I have to let you all know, and let's just start by saying this. I am a tea drinker. I don't know if you all can see this. I am a tea drinker, and I love sipping the tea or spilling the tea. Mm. Now, spilling the tea usually requires you to gossip. That's not my lane. I'm not a gossiper. That's not me. But I love tea, and I got a chance to not only celebrate I want to call it someone's birthday, but I also got a chance to do a wonderful thing in celebrating not the first, not the second, but ooh, 89 years young. Oh my goodness. I'll talk about that. But let me see who is here in the chat. Go ahead and give us a shout. Thank you so very much. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, text the word legal to 347-652-0243 if you'd like more information regarding that. And thank you so much. Mr. Springer is on the case. I love that. Hey, it's my friend Ursula. She's the African Royal. She let me know that she's one of the fans of the after show that I have on Mondays and Tuesdays after the 2-hour show that I do online. And thank you so very much. If you'd like to become a member of our Interludes podcasting community, you can go to patreon.com/interludes. Mr. Springer is on it tonight. Well, one of my besties, and she's been on this show a couple of times. It's Princess. It's one of my close, dear friends. I love her. I love her dearly. Her mother yesterday turned 89 years young, and we like to call her Mama Willis. That's what I like to call her, Mama Willis. And she had her 89th birthday. Her actual birthday was yesterday, but on Sunday, we got a chance to do high tea at the Drake Hotel. Now, if you guys know anything about the Drake Hotel, that is a beautiful hotel that kind of overlooks Lakeshore Drive, and then it's also against what we call it here in Chicago, the Magnificent Mile. Very bougie, very expensive Bloomingdale's, yeah, Ferragamo, any expensive Dior, any expensive place you could think of. It's all up and down and around the Drake Hotel. So we went there and we had high tea, but she mainly did that to celebrate her mom. It's a milestone. Every single year is a milestone. 89 years young. Miss Willis, and that's how I call her. I've known her ever since I was a little kid. She was about 2 years older than my mom. My mom would have been 87 and she turned 89. But I'm so grateful that my dear friend Princess shares her mom with me. So if I need to go down there and get some motherly advice, because she'll fuss at me just like I'm her child, which is wonderful. But that's my bestie in the middle. That is Princess. Now, I don't want to make any of my other good close friends feel sad or have some kind of feelings about it. And Ursula says, bougie is always good. Princess would agree with you very much. So that's her husband over to the side. And it was just so beautiful in this hotel. I mean, just the whole pageantry of doing, tea and then biscuits and then they had the little cucumber sandwiches. It was a whole vibe. And we let them know we had a very good server that day. I'm trying to think of his name, but what was special was that Princess joked around and said, actually, she's 98, but just reverse the numbers. So he did that, the 89th and 98th birthday of Mrs. Willis. And that's her granddaughter with her hands on her face. And of course, the great granddaughter, Nunu, was there, but during this time, she was asleep. Thank you so much, Ashley. Go ahead and send some happy birthday cheers to Miss Willis. So I've adopted a lot of surrogate moms. So I have a few people out here who are serving as big sisters or moms. I do not discriminate. I like adopting moms. That's what I do right now in these times. So that was high tea at the Drake. I'm just so excited. It was I just had my little pinky up and everything. And I I like how you said it, Kevin. That's right. It is had the what do you call it? I had the birthday tea with Mama Willis. So I'm just excited about that. So happy birthday, Miss Willis. I'm Mama Willis. I'm so excited. And we are praying. It's going to be great. 90. I'm praying for 90. That's going to be a fun year. And we were able to take her on and bring her there. And she enjoyed herself. She enjoyed the food. I think it was a lot of fun. So She doesn't look 89, but oh, and there was also a person there playing the harp. She's standing next door to the harp, and it was really beautiful classical music being played during this. So it was a whole vibe in the Drake Hotel. Thank you. I appreciate that. There you go. All right. I see Eric is in the building. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you so very much. Ursula's wishing Mama Willis a happy birthday. That's right. Happy birthday. Get all of that in. And then of course I see Queen Lakeisha is here. Peace and blessings to everyone. Man, oh man, oh man. Well, it's always good when I'm able to get a chance to binge watch. On Saturday, I was planning to go find and hang out with Coach Tony. I found out he was in town. However, Coach Tony did not call me. We'll talk about that when he shows up a little bit later. But I had to, what was this? I had to sit and do some work. So while I was doing some work, I heard about a series called The Other Black Girl. And I was thinking, I thought I heard that title before. I'm not 100% sure if that was the case, but it is a book. And I did not know it was a book. I spoke with one of my close friends, Janelle, there in Brooklyn. If you're there, girl, go ahead and say hello. Oh, Eric. Yeah, I think unfortunately, Coach faked out. He was supposed to call and let me know that he was coming. I do not understand what happened. However, this young lady that you see on the screen is the writer of this best-selling novel, and I'm going to see if I can get her name, Zakita Harris. And she is the writer of this wonderful book, The Other Black Girl. It was a bestseller for her in 2021, and Hulu and the Onyx collection, they went ahead and approached her. And Rashida Jones, the daughter of Quincy Jones, they are the executive producers of this series. Beautiful young lady, and wrote this book, became popular, and then they said, let's turn it into a series. Now, wait, let me stop sharing for just 2 seconds. Here's my public service announcement to everyone. And I'm glad people are chit-chatting with you guys. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so. We are so close. We are so close to a milestone, and we want to go ahead and definitely talk about that. But here's my PSA to the Hollywood producers. I would love to hear from the actors that have done wonderful work on TV series. This is crazy. I need you all to come to the table and employ the actors and pay them what they're worth. Pay the writers what they're worth. I'm talking now about a writer. And I want to hear from the actors that did this wonderful series, but I can't hear from the actors and I can't hear from the writers because everybody's on strike. You are holding up the Soul Train line, producers. Let's get it together. Okay, my public service announcement, that is all. Okay, back to the review of The Other Black Girl. I see Ursula says in the chat she's never heard about this book until this series on Hulu. You are correct. I am the same way. I did not hear about it until I saw the series and I saw it come up on Hulu, streaming, and I said, well, let me check this out. And I recognize a couple of names in that's acting in it. And I'm like, okay, this will definitely work. And thank you so very much, Kevin. That's right. We're talking. If you got a chance to see this series, please let me know because I'd love to find out what you all thought about the series because I said, oh, I'm only going to watch 1 or 2 episodes. And before I realized it, I was binge watching this. 10 episodes of suspense and excellence. The young lady you see at the upper left-hand corner, it's my left-hand corner, probably the right-hand corner for you. Sinclair Daniel is the one that's leading this ensemble cast. She plays Nella Rogers. Nella is in the book as well as in the series. She's working at a New York-based publishing company. It's fictitiously called, what's the name of it? It's called the Wagner. It was called Wagner Books. So it's Sinclair Daniel, Ashley Murray, who plays Hazel May McCall, Hunter Parrish, who plays the doting and loving boyfriend. We have Eric McCormick. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He plays Richard Wagner. Bellamy Young. I don't know if you guys remember her from Scandal. I love her. Excellent actress. Langston Kerman. He plays a podcaster, a very famous podcaster. And uh, if I've seen him in the series Insecure, really good looking dude. And then, of course, one of my favorite actresses, Garcelle Bouveau, and she plays Diana Gordon. My goodness, it's such a beautiful and attractive cast. And let me take a crack at this. Brittany Adebu Maya, and she plays one of the beautiful, supportive Michaela, who is a supportive friend of Nella Rogers. Well, kind of the synopsis that I see that's on here is she is, what is that? Okay, she's working at she's one of the few and only Black women that's working at this New York book publishing. She's an editorial assistant. I was getting the the Devil Wears Prada vibes a little bit, but Bellamy Young did not play such a just a horrible boss. There were some things that was happening, but then another Black young lady comes on. She's hired to be an editorial assistant too, and I don't know if and I want to speak to this for folks that have worked in corporate, because I've worked in corporate. I have worked in corporate, so I totally understand what this feels like. And I see Kevin tells me, he says he finished episode 4. It's addictive. It gave me some Get Out vibes, because I was thinking it was going to be suspenseful and kind of bloody. Sometimes I was kind of going, oh my gosh, are they going to do something weird? But it was two timelines running. It was two timelines running. It was the current timeline. The original book is written, and it's written in 2018, so it was written before the pandemic. But it was wonderful that they brought on Harris, who wrote the book, to adapt it to the screen and to adapt it for 2023 in a post-pandemic world. So there are the two characters there, Nella and Hazel. But is Hazel friend or foe to Nella? So in the first couple episodes is a really good setup for the story going forward, but then you become a little bit more fascinated to hear about Diana Gordon. One of the reasons why Nella is at this Warner Books is that she finds out that one of her heroes was an editor, and she's one of the few Black people that's on the wall of either previous editors at this Warner Books. It's very good. It's very good. Let me see what do you guys think about this so far? I see my friend Ursula. She says, at Kevin, people said you got to sit down and watch it all the way through. She says she's got to get started. Yes, because once I got started, I couldn't stop. And the great thing is it's set up like a comedy series. So the episodes are maybe no longer than 30 minutes, 10 episodes. If you got 3 to 4 hours, you could do it. You could do it. One of my friends said, my wife bragged about the book, but the series, this mug had me ticked more than interested. I'd love to hear more about that. Yes, Get Out. That's right. That's kind of the vibe that I was getting. And then, of course, Hazel. Yes, the character Hazel, the actress that portrayed Hazel, she did a great job, because she was very, prissy and boozy. And then, of course, this actor right here did a wonderful job. I think I remember him from, The Office and a few others. His name is Brian Baumgartner. He plays Colin Franklin, and Bellamy, who's here. She's portraying Vera. She's Nella's boss. She's like, we've got to cater to this man because he is the one that's keeping the lights on here at Wagner Books. It's kind of that, let's suck up to this person. Although he writes a character that's a Black character that's not too good. That's all I'm going to reveal because I want to tell more about the story, but I'm telling you, I really enjoyed it and I would recommend it. This is one of the ones I would definitely recommend. Eric McCormick, who plays Richard Wagner there on the left there, he does an excellent job of just kind of giving that, you think he's the one that's behind things, and then you go and you go, maybe it's this person behind things, maybe it's Bellamy here, Vera, the boss. Who is it? Who is the person pulling the strings and making things happen? And who, when you find out and you go, all right, I don't understand it all. But it was really good. This was a very entertaining series. I definitely would recommend it. This is in Harris words, the person who created it. She says, writing from this voice for Nella was so important to me. But I was also a little nervous at first, she says, who grew up mostly in a white community in Connecticut. I thought, are people going to actually like her, Nella? But it felt so real to me. And in this past few years, I've met so many other Black women who identify with her and have a similar backgrounds to me. And it's been really cool to hear that. There are a lot of Black young women who have grown up in a predominantly white community. And it's their parents being upward mobility, upper to middle class or upper class, and they may not have grown up around other Black people. However, the way that the character Nella brightens her tongue sometimes, I am so reminded, like, there are some things you want to say to your white coworker that you cannot say because you might get labeled as the angry Black girl. And I never wanted to get the label of being the angry black girl. Oh my goodness. What are you guys saying here? I was tripping, Kevin, from The Office, being a writer. Yeah. So guys, make sure you check this series out. I'd love to circle back and see what you guys think. The Other Black Girl, it is currently streaming on Hulu. And I had a blast watching all 10 episodes. I want to tell more, but I can't. But I had such a blast checking it out. And so, guys, it is one of these it's one of the ones that'll keep you guessing. And then when you start to make the connections, you're going to be like, aha. And I see that Queen Lakeisha agrees with me, which is phenomenal. I see the coach is in here. The coach is here. So we're going to pivot right now and get to some sports. Oh my goodness. And I got to find out why we didn't have a chance to hook up while he was here in town. Yeah, I'm going to talk about him real bad, but it's all good. It's time for the coach. Let's go.
Man, what's up, Val? I just saw my girls. What's going on, Keisha?
Lakeisha, that's right. That's
my girl.
I know that she's the sweetest pie. She is the sweetest pie. Oh
my! Hey, and I owe you a big apology, Val. I mean, you can probably hear me nasally right now, but I came in for whatever reason. By the time I hit Naptown, getting into home, I just had this funk bug all over me. And what I wasn't going to do, being your brother, I wasn't going to take you down with me. See, I was loving you because of that. So I ended up basically medicine up on not Sudafed, but what the heck, NyQuil honey. And if you've never taken that, let me tell you something. Be prepared to sleep because I slept. I got some good rest, I must tell you, but I came in, did a couple projects that I had, and that was pretty much it.
So here's Ursula saying, "Don't talk about him. Don't talk about him real bad."
Hey, don't talk about him real bad. Hey, cut the coach some slack. Cut me some slack. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Tom doing the hardest working, on the mic. So I'm moving here and there. So, but I was not going to miss out on Interludes talking on Tuesday and Val. While I
Mm-hmm.
was home, I did pick up a surprise for you.
What you pick up? What you pick up?
Hey, this is an exclusive.
Oh, what you got here? What record is this? Is that Michael Jackson remix suite? What album? What song is that?
It just came out, and not only a few people got it. I happen to know some people that know some people that know some people that end
Oh.
up giving me a copy. I spent this one album cost me $50, but it's never going to be opened. And because of me DJing, I got the software, so I'm gonna see if I can find it and download it without opening this album. They told me this album is potentially a 200%, 300% gross margin in the next.
And this is Michael Jackson? Wow. Yeah, so both myself and Coach, we are DJs. Now, Coach has wax turntables. He's got the real layout. I don't have the real layout like him. But all I know is that Coach, that sounds like a phenomenal purchase. You doing that and all of that. I'm telling you, your internet's a little draggy. I hate that. You kind of froze a little bit. Oh, you're still freezing. Okay, here we go. I can freeze with you. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah, we can't hear you, Coach. Are you there? All right, somebody put in the chat, can you hear the coach? Tell me if you can hear the coach. Tell me if you can hear the coach. Wait a minute. Is somebody laughing? Don't laugh. Oh, wait. And somebody said, I believe the worth, but stop playing, King. You'll never open that mug. Never, ever. Okay. Okay. So somebody has confirmed, Coach, we can't hear you. I don't know what happened. Yeah. So I got several people letting me know that we can't hear you. You guys can hear me, obviously, but we can't hear you. So, Coach, we're going to do this. I'm going to have you go out and come back. I don't know what's up with your compute. I don't know what's up with your situation, but my goodness, don't you hate when that happens? Everyone's asking, I cannot hear him. Oh, no, that's not good. Oh, my goodness. Well, here's one of my extra stories that I wanted to talk about. And I meant to mention this a little bit. I think I meant to mention this last week. Diddy gives back publishing. I had mentioned it, but now I actually want to get into it as we wait for Coach to come on back here. My goodness, P. Diddy, according to Variety, he has decided to reassign his Bad Boy publishing rights back to all of the Bad Boy artists and writers who have helped build Bad Boy into the powerhouse it is today. And artists like Notorious B.I.G., The Lox, Faith Evans, Mario Winans, Mace, he's given them their rights back. But is it too late? Is it too much too late? Is it? I'm wondering that. And I see, and somebody else said they saw that. That's big. Yes, it is. And then some people, I remember mentioning it before, and then some other folks said, "Hey, you know what? Um, it's a little too late." So let me see. Let's bring on the coach and see if he is streaming better. Hey, coach, let's see how this is working. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Someone says half of the artists are not here anymore. Oh, that's not good. Oh, man. No, they got to be here. Oh my goodness. That's the reason why I wish that Diddy would have done this much, much sooner. Now, he says he passed on a 8-figure payday for this, but I don't know. Since you're using your cell phone, coach, I think I see you. Okay. Let's see. Say something to us. Say something to us. Okay, you're moving around. I'm gonna have you either go off. This is what I'll do. I'll make the suggestion for you to go off of your go on your data minutes or what go on your data versus the wireless. Maybe that's what's happening because you're freezing a lot. I hate that. That must be a glitch that's happening with his Wi-Fi. So Yeah, and someone else mentioned it too. It's too late. I feel like it's much much too late. And when I was thinking about that, I was wondering, I'm like, well, why now would he go ahead and do this? And I just didn't understand it. According to Variety, he could have been paid over 8 figures if he had gone ahead and sold the publishing, but he's sending it back. And then, of course, he is on tap to release a brand new album. I think that's supposed to happen too. He's 53. I think he'll be 54 this year. And this was after Labor Day. So he established Bad Boy back in 1993. You guys, I bet the vast majority of you guys can look in your record collection and either pull out either one or two songs that you remember from Diddy. And that's and I see someone said that it might be because he's feeling a little guilty about this. Maybe that's it. I'm not sure, but it I feel like it's too late for it to happen. But maybe it's good that it's happening. I'm not sure. They said Diddy's team insisted that a maneuver like this is unprecedented. I can't say that, as it could impact the industry and shift how artists are compensated. So there's a gentleman that I know on another app. He is a record exec, and he actually works in music publishing. He signs artists. And one time he was telling us that an artist would have to stream over 1 million streams, not download streams, on either, what is that, Spotify and a few other places in order to get either $5,000 to $6,000. It has to be over 1 million streams. So what if you only reach 100,000 streams? How much would that be? So that's very troubling. That's very troubling. Hey, Marjorie, I'm glad to see that you're there. And then someone said, who is this? Agreed. He figured 8 million on guilt was a start. I don't know. But let us know in the chat if you could name your favorite song that was done by Bad Boy, because earlier this summer we were celebrating 50 years in hip hop. And I know Diddy, in my mind, contributed a lot to the space. Of course, the Notorious B.I.G. came from his lane. And it's just, I'm wondering, why did it take him this long to say, you know what, I'm going to let you have your publishing. I'm going to have your rights back. But maybe it's because he knows that the artists are not getting paid their money and getting paid. The record industry has changed so much from the 90s, from the 2000s, and now it really has. And it's very disturbing. So I totally get it. Oh, wait a minute. And here's Ursula. I won't believe it till I see some paperwork online. I think it's happened, Ursula. I think it's happened. We have nothing. I think there's nothing to worry about. Okay, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, can you hear me now, man?
I can hear you real good now.
The funny part about it, I heard everything you said previous. Everything.
Oh, you did.
I didn't
you were
skip a beat.
freezing. Yeah, you were freezing. We just saw this.
I heard every comment. I heard everything that you said. Hey, I have. It must be those iPhone users trying to hold me down.
Ooh, you're gonna diss the iPhone? Come on, man.
But I ain't gonna go, because we're gonna start on something.
All right, well, let's do this now.
Hey, let's get this before we jump in this, Val. Kevin, you got to put out. We didn't do our What You Thinking last week, because we had Coach Tarver.
Okay.
We didn't do our What You Think before. But I got a real good What You Thinking this week, and I want to know everyone's opinions, because we got a great crowd out here tonight. Again, Let's talk on Tuesday. Push that button to subscribe. But I want to know, Alabama University lost against Texas last weekend, Val. And after all the stuff that happened in Montgomery, after all the stuff that happened around the basketball program and the murder of the young lady that unfortunately lost her life during last year's basketball season, The university gets beat by Texas last Saturday. And up on the University of Texas leaving Birmingham, or Tuscaloosa, must I add, the fans were calling the football team a bunch of N-words and a few other choice words. So I'm wondering,
The feds?
the fans, the Alabama University
Oh,
student
the
section,
fans. The
the
fans.
fans and all that stuff like that were coming to the game. So I want to know what you're thinking, because if you call these kids who played on that football team N-words and other rough names, these were probably some of the same athletes that you're recruiting. And what does that have to say about the kids that actually play for your team? What you think?
Oh my goodness. So I put it up there, but Kevin is going to actually capture that a little bit better than that. Oh my goodness. So I don't Alabama and Texas were playing. Here's a bigger question. Who won the game?
Texas beat them. Texas beat Alabama at Alabama, which doesn't normally happen, Val.
Mhm.
And this is why I think the situation jumped off the way that it did. But you would figure that they would have a little more class than that, and they just kind of, I guess you say, showed their color.
Oh, that's not good. Now, here's what Ursula says. She said these students sections and some fans are getting a little out of control. And then we had someone else say that's on brand for Alabama. That's not good. That's not a good brand to be on. Don't let cheering fans fool you. Hmm.
There you go.
Why?
Hey,
Yeah,
I
go
like
ahead.
who just said. I like who said that's on brand, because here's where I see this. Because of that, to me, the reign of Alabama football is going backwards, and I think the
Mhm.
kids are no longer going to the University of Alabama like they were a decade ago when they were so dominant. After a while, kids want to compete, and I think these other
Exactly.
schools and the other conferences are coming up. And Georgia Bulldogs, I think, will run the SEC for a while, but unfortunately for them, I think after this statement, a lot of students are going to turn their head from that university coming in the next year.
This is the University of Alabama. Hmm.
Yes. Too
When
much
was
money.
it? Wait, quick question. When now this we're talking football and
Yep.
who
College football.
and who ended up winning? It was Alabama
Texas.
that won? Oh,
No, Texas
Texas
won.
won.
That's why it all
Oh.
jumped off. And Nick Saban don't lose at home too often in Alabama, especially early season.
Well, and it's too early in the season for this thing to happen. But I have to say, wasn't the University of Alabama the place where um, I think they tried to break the color line with a couple of kids attending there back in the '60s during the civil rights movement. I feel like that
Yep.
was
That was there and in Arkansas.
in Arkansas, right? Oh, that's
So,
not good.
you would think that they would overcome that. But again, so I want to know what you're thinking. But on a pivot moment, you know, Val in our illustrious city, and for those who are MJ fans like myself, 39 years ago last weekend, the Chicago Bulls signed Michael Jordan to a $6 million deal as a rookie in 1984 with $1 million guaranteed. Think about that, Val. 6 million in '84, and now these kids making 25 million a year starting out. Is that crazy?
That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
yeah. The greatest athlete ever to touch a basketball at that point. 6 million, and he signed with Nike, and those shoes right there that's around his neck. Every time
Mhm.
he wore those shoes, he had to pay the NBA $5,000, because at that time the NBA said you could only wear white shoes. You could not have a shoe with color in them.
I wonder what that rule was about because I heard about that in the film that came out earlier
Air?
this year called
Yeah.
Air that was
Yes.
streaming on the Prime. And I think that was the one that Matt Damon and his
Right.
best friend
Yes.
directed. Ben
Mhm.
Affleck, yes.
Yeah, and also
Mhm.
Chris Tucker was in the movie as well. And
Mhm.
it was because the NBA thought that the image of being clean image, not dirty. So they thought about wearing white shoes, white on white outfits. That's why you have a home uniforms with white. You can do whatever you want on the road, but at home you got to wear white. So that's where all that came about. and Michael Jordan broke the color barrier with the Nike ones, which is now a ridiculous price to get those shoes. And his mother, as you and I talked about before, helped
Mhm.
negotiate that deal, which he only wanted, $1 for every shoe that sold. And in his rookie season, he made $56 million because they sold almost a half a
Woo!
billion dollars. Crazy.
Woo!
That,
Absolutely crazy.
just
Woo!
just
Go
imagine
mama.
this, Val. Just imagine she said $10.
That particular deal was unprecedented. And one additional thing on the actor side of things, it was told, and Chris Tucker, when they interviewed him, I think either for The Talk or The View, one of the talk shows, he joked around and said that Michael Jordan said, "I only want Viola Davis to portray my mom for this movie Air." And I thought the way he shared that, it was hilarious. And Chris Tucker also shared with how he gave Michael Jordan a ride, and he always would ask people, "What shoes are you wearing?" He would look down at your shoes to see what you wear.
Yeah. So the other part of that, they told a story
Mhm.
about even a couple of kids, because a lot of people don't know. Mike lived in Chicago, up around Northbrook area, and
Mhm.
they said that if Marcus or his daughter or his other son Jeffrey would come home with a friend, if they walked through the door with any other pair of shoe on besides Jordan, he would make them take the shoe off at the door. They would have to walk around the house barefoot. He would then go get a pair of Jordan shoes, and they would have to put those shoes on while they were there. They could not walk around his house with any other shoes but a pair of Jordans. I don't know about you, Val, but I done wore every pair of shoes I knew to mankind and came by every day.
That is crazy. That is but
Hey,
you know
I
what?
had
That and
everything
you
on Adidas, Pumas,
Mhm.
you name it. I'd have been knocking on the door every day.
But you know what? That's what's up. That is what's up. Like I said, if you guys wanted to see I think it was a great fictitious, I want to call it a fictionalized depiction of what happened with the negotiation. And so Air is one of my favorites, and I'm a
Yeah.
fan of it, and I'm so grateful that you got a chance to go ahead and share with everyone with that man. Oh man,
Oh yeah. Hey,
exciting,
hey,
exciting. Hmm.
that's great. Speaking of fans, let's turn a little bit because the WNBA is going right now. And as you
Hmm.
and I talked about, this is seem to be, we talked about last week with Coach Tarver, the summer of Black women doing positive things, the gymnasts,
Hmm.
and now we got the WNBA playoff, Val, that are right here with us, right behind that. So with the WNBA playoffs, you know, I talked earlier about two particular teams that I like, who I thought would get to the WNBA finals in the Las Vegas Aces with Asia Wilson, and then also the New York Liberty with Breonna Stewart. Now, they met two times this year, both in the Commissioner's Cup, and they split 1-1. And then, remember, for the All-Star game, we were talking about that weekend, Val, that Asia and Breonna went against each other where, you can choose your own teams. And Breonna won that game. So I'm looking for a rematch for the third time, but this is going to be for the ring. This is going to be for that WNBA trophy.
Oh.
Yes. And
Mhm.
these women can play ball. I'm telling you now, if you're not watching and keeping track with what the WNBA is doing, and Val, they are setting, do you understand me? They're setting record attendance. They had 18,000 at a game the other night. They had
Ooh.
19,500. They went over 22,000 people in Vegas to watch the Aces. This is crazy. This is the same type of crowd that men's are giving to women's basketball now.
Oh, this is phenomenal. That
Yeah.
that is phenomenal. I now see Angel and Kendrick are in the audience on Facebook. Guys, thank you guys for being here. I just wanted to make sure that I got a chance to get a chance to say that. But man, this is phenomenal. So the playoffs are next week, right? For
Oh, they're going
the
on right now. They're
Oh, they're
they're
going on right
down to
now.
the semis right now. We're down to 4 teams left in the semifinals. Whoever wins these next two games will play for the East Coast and the West Coast, and then those two will match up in the finals. And of course, we will be back to bring you that information when the finals of the WNBA hit. And again, Val, what do I normally say? For
For
promotional
promotional
purposes
purposes
only,
only.
I
Yes.
will tell you, if you need a car or a down payment on your mortgage, I will tell you to bet on the Las Vegas Aces, and you may come up and be blessed.
So you're saying they're gonna go all the way. The Aces are gonna go all the way.
Yeah, I like New York. I think the Liberty will get there, but I don't think
Mhm.
anyone's gonna stop Asia. I don't even think she got Kelsey Plum with her. They're completely loaded. And by the way, Val, I told you
Hey,
that our
Mark.
girl Candace Parker is out there. But did you know
Mhm.
Candace broke her leg?
No.
Yeah, Candace broke her leg, so she's out. She's not even
Oh.
playing this year. So she left the sky
Mhm.
to go to Vegas for obviously for better weather and better scenery, right? But
Mhm.
but she's not playing. She's a cheerleader right now. So that just go to show you how loaded they are.
Mhm. Oh my goodness. So yeah, oof, I didn't sorry to hear about Candace, but so as the playoffs go on and then the WNBA finals after they go down and get to the last two teams, that'll be happening. I think I saw it next week.
Yeah, next week, something like that. So once again, if you on Interludes Talk on Tuesday with Val the Voice, and of course you know me,
Mhm.
your boy Coach Tony, if you subscribe, you'll keep updated on all this good stuff.
And if you're
And
currently watching right now, hit the like button and please
yeah,
share. There you go.
please share, please share. And speaking of like and share, what about
Mhm.
my boy Prime Time? Did I say, hold on, baby,
Ah.
Prime Time? And he said you got to believe, and he got those Colorado Buffalo. Oh, Mark, I know you was just up there a minute ago, asked me about something. So I know you won for making good comments, Mark, but Prime Time is doing his thing right now. Now, Val,
Mhm.
this guy has turned around a program that hadn't seen a day of light in 30 years almost, right? 20 something years, 25, 30 years
Mhm.
almost. And look at him. He got his cowboy hat
He got his
on. He's
hat
swagged
on.
out.
He
Hey,
ready.
Dion, he dressing the part and acting the part at the same time, Val.
He got the cowboy hat on. That's
Hey,
what's happening.
he's from down there in Texas. He knows what it's all about. Hey, and the good thing about him is that they are loving him in Colorado. Now, Val, I don't know if you got an opportunity to catch the game on Saturday. That was one of the best games that I've seen in a long time. They played their in-state rival, Colorado State, and uh,
Mhm.
Colorado State played dirty. They played real dirty. They were hitting out of the whistle, and they hit one of the
Wow.
best players on the field, and Travis Hunter, who's a two-way player, plays defense and offense, and put him out. And the kid is in the hospital. He just got
Oh,
out.
no.
Yeah, he just got out yesterday, but he will
Oh.
not play for the next 4 weeks. Now, the crazy part about it is just before I came on air with you, I was looking at ESPN, and they said the kid at Colorado State, they hit him. His family and him have been receiving death threats for the last 2 days. And Dion went on air tonight and said it's ridiculous that we would take a football game and go as far as sending a kid and his family death threats. So this go to show you, Val, this is big business, babe.
This is horrible. That's Eric saying, "What up, Coach Tony?" He
What
switched
up, baby?
platform. so, so my goodness. Thank you so much for that article, Kevin. 5 things to know about Sanders, aka Coach Prime. But this is very disturbing. Nothing in the game of anything, basketball, football, hockey, which can be very violent at times, ice
Right,
skating. Nobody should be threatening your life when it comes
correct,
to that. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be competitive. And of course, there's a winner, there's a loser, but no one should be threatening anyone's life. This is someone's child. This is someone's son.
right.
Can we think
And it's
about
a
that,
game.
please?
It's a game, Val. Like you said, it's a game.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
And
it goes back
mhm.
to speak to what I was talking about earlier at Alabama. If those kids weren't on the bus or those kids wasn't restrained and got called the N word too many times, you know they were going to explode. You know that was going to be an all out
Mhm.
mayhem. That's going to be a brawl. But for this kid, and it was a dirty hit. I saw the game. If you haven't seen it,
Mhm.
go back and watch the replay. The kid went to catch the ball. He dropped the ball on the out of bounds line. The kid came 3 or 4 feet away from him about full speed and hit him. Not only did he hit him up in the chest area where his heart's and his ribs at, and he put him out. I mean,
Oh my
put him out.
gosh.
And it fired Colorado up even more than what they did. Deion Sanders, Sanders put on another show, throwing for almost 500 yards. He's a beast right now. And of course, he's looking at a Heisman opportunity.
Yeah, and Eric said that that's crazy. Nothing that kid did deserves this type of behavior, and he says he's glad that Prime is defending him.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
I wish
yeah.
that the NCAA step in, Val, and kind
Mhm.
of do what they do with the NFL, where they take a look at dirty hits and then they decide what they want to do with the player. And I think that with the kid being out hurt for 4 weeks, then you suspend the kid for 4 weeks.
Exactly. For 4 weeks. Right. They should not be allowed to play because your behavior is against play. There should be like this NCAA player standards where
Correct.
nothing should be forced or harmful, like you do dirty hits or whatever to injure someone or to make you could. This is why mothers are so nervous about their sons playing, football,
And this
college
is why the numbers
football.
of football is going down. That's why the people are
Mhm.
defecting from football. And this is the
Right.
reason why soccer and basketball numbers are growing exponentially because of it.
Yeah, because I hear about people doing, dirty plays and stuff in basketball and soccer, but not as much as I do hear about it in football.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It,
it's very disturbing, and so I'm grateful for Deion Sanders for standing up for this young man and literally even today making the news saying we need to stop this. There
right.
should be no there should be no threats of anyone's life over a game. That doesn't make any sense. And he
That's
went out
taken
there
way
to
out of context.
right, that's right. He went out there to help them, I guess, to number one bring notoriety and of course to win games, but not to the detriment of someone being getting death threats or being, or no. Too
Correct.
much, too much.
And this is why, like you were saying, Val, you know, um, there's got to be a situation where the NCAA does more. They're worried about money. They're worried about these kids getting paid. Why don't they worry about the detriment of the game? And what you just said a moment ago, because of these kids getting injured at a high rate, and his
Mhm.
mama, hey, you ain't about to hurt my son. So we'll go over here and play basketball. We'll go here and play soccer or whatever we got to do, but I'm not going to do it. And this is the reason why a lot of people always ask me, Coach, why is it that basketball players and baseball players, even hockey, can go straight out of high school to the pros, but not football? Well, I mean, look at this. This was a 19-year-old kid getting hit by a 20-year-old kid. So imagine
Mhm.
this is a 19-year-old kid 1 year removed getting hit by a 27, 28-year-old man.
Right, exactly. So this is what Eric says. He said, sad thing is, Coach Tony, Colorado State would have won if they were not playing dirty. And then Kendrick says,
Exactly right.
what
Yes,
doesn't get talked about enough is the Colorado State player that was kicked out of the game for hitting Deion Sanders' son.
correct.
Mm.
Because it was overshadowed because who Hunter is, it was overshadowed. Now, having said that, here's the hard part, and I want to hear from you guys, Mark. I want to hear from you guys, E, and what you guys thinking about this. So their next 2 weeks are going to be tough. So Val, welcome our new members to the Big Ten. Let's go Big Ten and Oregon and USC. But now Dion has his best player out, Val, for the next 4 weeks. And then he must take on number 10 Oregon this Saturday. And then after that, next takes on number 2 USC the week after that. So his next 2 weeks are going to be tough. So even though he opened up 2-0, what did I tell everybody when the thing started? For promotional purposes only. If
Mhm.
Dion can go at least 500 this year, that's a great season. And I call him going at least 7-6. He may go 6-6, but I think he'll win at least 7 games. But these are going to
Yeah.
be 2 tough games over these next 2 weeks. Now, if he can pull off the win at Oregon, oh, he's a
Mhm.
hero. If he can upset USC, oh, he's a god. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll be talking about it.
Yeah, and we'll be watching it because I think the reason why we number one we've been following Deion Sanders because of the historic run of what he did at the HBCU
Yes, at Jackson State.
at
And
Jackson
Val,
State.
I
Mhm.
will be giving you a close up in person because I will be at the Arizona State Colorado game the first weekend in October in Phoenix, baby.
Woo! Oh my goodness! When is that game,
It's
Coach?
gonna be October 7th, and I'm gonna give you some close up pictures. I'm gonna be in the stadiums. I'm gonna be taking some snapshots.
Oh wow, this is their biggest test, Coach. They go to Oregon this weekend. That's Eric telling you that.
Yep.
Wow.
Go to Oregon
Mhm.
this weekend. If they can get that versus number 10, they'll move up into probably the top 10 or close to it. Then they follow that up right with the number 2 team in the nation, in USC. And by the way, both of those teams will be in the Big Ten next season.
Now we've done college. Let's go to the NFL. It's in full swing right now,
It's in full
and
swing. And our beloved Bears, I'm already, I'm already shoveling. Val. I'm already putting them in the suburbs already. Yeah, I'm already. Wipe your tears. Don't worry about it. Wipe your tears. Wipe your tears. Let them dry up because they are struggling right now. I don't know what they're going to do for our guy Justin Fields. They're going to have to find him some blocking or something. Now, the surprise team this year, right now, going on in the NFL, is none other than the NFC East and the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Right now, with Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott, oh my God, this is going to be a battle. And this has been a something that we've talked about for years that haven't happened, but Dallas has finally put it together, and they're not worried about running the ball to Ezekiel so much because now Dak is spreading the ball around. It's going to be interesting to see if Dallas can maintain this because I got Philly to go all the way this year to Super Bowl.
And there's a question on the floor here. This was a good question coming from Mark because I saw what happened with Aaron Rodgers last week. The New York Jet fans are like, "Oh Lord, why are players getting hurt so early?" Nick Chubb and Aaron Rodgers. Why do you think?
I think, that's a great question, Mark. I was just talking about this, as a matter of fact, to a
Mhm.
buddy of mine who's a physical therapist, actually in the league.
Mhm.
And he's now at a college, a big college now at Northwestern. And while I was home this weekend, I was talking to him. He said that, this is a show and tell, Val, of kids now that are bigger and faster and stronger because the game now is being taught at an earlier age. You know, Snoop Dogg got his Pop Warner, his Pee Wee team, and these kids
Okay.
are being hit so much from the time that they're 8, 9, 10 years old. By the time they get up to 16, 17, 18, the ones that are going to go on to be big football players, right, at Division I programs or major programs that go on into the NFL, their bodies are so chiseled. You may look at a big guy, Val, perfect example. You may look at a guy that's 6'7", 6'6", 295, 300 pounds. Now, you would think
Mhm.
somebody that's 6'7", 390 pounds could not run. And
All right.
these guys are running 4.5, 4.6, 4.8, 40-yard dashes. They're going to catch you
Wow. And I
because they're
see,
big, but they're muscular.
yeah, and I see Eric said injuries have happened early, Rogers and Chubb. And then I think Kendrick said every year, every year NFL stars are hurt and they hurt all season, almost every week.
Yeah, I mean,
And
what you just said with
mhm,
Rodgers and Chubb, you got two of the
mhm.
best players. So Cleveland Browns was probably going to have one of the best years they've had this year. And of course, they get Deshaun Watson. Of course, Val, man, you talked about him, right? That was the guy that
Right.
was in Texas last year that had the allegations going on, and they let him back
Ooh.
in. But now he loses his best running back. He and Aaron Rodgers are now both completely out for the entire year. And Aaron Rodgers older, Chubb's younger, but the injuries
Mhm.
that they suffered Chubb's his injury was so bad, he tore his ACL, his MCL, and his TCL. That's the all 3 or 4 ligaments that's in between the upper and lower bone in your body. That's his career may be done.
Oh, and I think Rogers is 39. I think you told me we
Yeah,
were
he's the
talking about.
oldest player right now in the league. And
Oh wow.
and the crazy part about it is, Val, he had a $200 million contract guaranteed, $100 million guaranteed. He could have walked on the field and said, "My big toe hurt," and got $100 million. I need to be his cousin.
I know, but he literally played. I want to say I don't even know if that was the first or second down, and the injury happened in the
Four
first
minutes into the
quarter.
game. 4 minutes into the game.
I
So I
was
mean,
thinking, oh
and he
no.
done, and they were picked. They were one of the pick favorites. The Jets was picked to do some big things this year, but not now.
Yeah, and also this is Eric. He says the Jets are sick right now, and Angel says it's a strategy act. Oh my goodness, four
Okay, man.
plays. That's what
Okay.
Erica said. Eric said it was 4 plays, and then boom, this injury happened.
Yeah, as I said, first 4 minutes of the game. It's crazy. And what I want to know as we go on week after week, I want to know, you guys, who do you have now winning the Super Bowl? Because as Mark just said, to me, the biggest surprise in the NFL are the Detroit Lions with the win over Kansas City. But then they bounced back in week 2 and looked like the Detroit Lions, Mark. They lost.
Oh, really?
Yes. So they're 1-1.
Man.
That NFC North division is going to be tough. I think Minnesota will come out of there in our division this year, Val. I think Minnesota wins their division. Philadelphia
Okay.
wins their division. San Francisco wins their division. I have San Francisco and the Eagles meeting in an NFC championship game. And then in the AFC, I think that Kansas will figure it out. And I think the Kansas City Chiefs will make it back. They're the reigning Super Bowl champs. I think they'll make it back. And surprisingly enough, I think, and no one's talking about them, and Mark, you didn't mention them, but you better watch out for the Miami Dolphins this year.
The
In the AFC.
Miami Dolphins. Okay.
Yeah, the
This
Dolphins.
this is in the first. Where are we in the third week, second or
Third
third
week.
week,
It'll be the third week
week.
coming up. Yes.
And Eric says that San Francisco is his favorite. Okay, the 49ers. I
My
can see that.
nephew Jawan Jennings out there catching that ball.
Mark says yes, Dolphins are real. Okay, that could happen. Well, but I need to. For my Bears, they're not doing good, and so I need to find another team to cheer for because my
Hey,
Bears.
come on down here, Val. We're gonna let you on this Tennessee Titans bandwagon. We'll let you on the Titans band because we need some help.
I need a bandwagon.
Yeah. We're gonna let you on this Tennessee Titans. Now, I'm gonna tell you one more thing, Val. If the Bears lose this Sunday, they might well just go ahead and pack it up, shut the season down.
Oh no. Okay, well, I'll be praying for them to win this game.
Yes. If they can win this game and get to 1-2, then we may, because the season this year is long. I think the NFL got 17 weeks now.
Okay, and Coach, look at Eric's comment.
What is that?
Please don't mention the teddy bears. What is this poor
Hey,
child
Aaron,
doing?
don't worry, Aaron.
Oh,
I'm gonna send you one for Christmas. You're gonna get a teddy bear from Coach Toby.
He says, "Put the teddy bears to bed." That is crazy.
Oh my goodness! Hey, I'm gonna send you a teddy bear, and I do expect you to put him to bed.
Oh my gosh! I guess. Well, this has been a phenomenal talk on Tuesday. I want to thank you, Coach, very much for just being here. And oh wait, before I leave, this is Mark. He says, "Can Carolina do anything this year, or are they toast too?"
Yeah, they can help Michael Jordan get the basketball team ready for the NBA season.
Oh my goodness!
Because they're not going to do it. They let McCaffrey go. Come on, Mark. They let the best of that kid. Val, I was out in San Francisco.
Coach, where'd you go?
I'm here.
Okay, Coach, you there? All
Yeah,
right.
there. I'm good.
Oh, you're good. We hear
Okay.
you.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I saw McCaffrey years ago at Stanford. I was telling people
Mhm.
about McCaffrey almost 7 years ago when he came out of Stanford, and then he went down to Carolina. And what happened? Him and Cam Newton can do nothing. Now what happens? He goes back home to San Francisco, and they're undefeated in first place and possibly looking at a Super Bowl run. So
Oh.
Carolina Panthers can only help Michael Jordan pack up his stuff, get out of Charlotte, and help the NBA team start doing what they're gonna do.
Well, we'll see. I'll pass tissue down to Mark for his Carolinas. Maybe they'll win. Maybe they won't. We won't know. But it is time to go ahead and let you guys know what's coming up on the audio podcast on the other
Yes.
side of things. I had a chat with this young man. His name is Anthony D. Shannon. He's an author and motivational speaker, has this wonderful book called Live Generously. I
Okay.
met him on Clubhouse, and they know him on in the Clubhouse streets as Speaker T. Very inspirational. He has a wonderful story to share. And so I had a conversation with him a little bit earlier this summer. And so that will be our audio podcast on tomorrow. Anthony D. Shannon, he's right over in Detroit, just outside of
Okay.
Detroit,
D
right?
town.
That's
D
a
town. I'm
D
liking
town.
that.
There you go. So there you go. But there it is with that. So we're going to be talking with him. And of course, letting you know that we're celebrating 3 years of Interludes. We're so happy about it. All of that is going on. And of course, to let you all know, our affiliate sponsor for today is Legal Shield. Guys, if you need help with a will or trust, or if you have a business you need to protect or trademark, Legal Shield can provide that protection for you at half the cost, lower the cost. You don't need to pay that much. Go ahead and text the word legal to 347 652 0243. And if you're interested in becoming and starting your own platform on your platform, you could become a fan of Interludes by joining our Interlude.
Book. I'm about to everybody put these books out, Say it the Entertainer got a brand new book. I'm
Of
surprised you didn't talk
course.
about it. Boxcar.
Mhm.
I gotta get it. It's supposed to be pretty fun. I'm gonna put a book out. When I do, I'm gonna let my fans know about it because it's gonna be a good one.
Well, we'll be back next week, and we got
Terry,
some great.
PC
We got
Cummings, baby.
Yeah, we got some great guests coming up in the next couple of weeks, but we'll be checking things out. And for promotional purposes only, the coach will definitely let you know who is winning and who needs to be swept up under the
Yes, yes.
rug.
Start putting your promotional dollars aside, and I'm gonna start giving you my promotional information, and hopefully you can start making some promotional success.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, Kevin, for putting that in there. The audio podcast comes out, and then of course, thank you so very much, and Mark, who is also is giving us streaming on Pod TV. He says, "Happy birthday! We love the interludes on Pod TV." On behalf of myself and Coach, we'll be back next week, same time, same channel. We're out of here.
Peace.
Peace.